Hey, what's up? It's time for another dose of 25 fun facts, glitches, and lesser-known details in GTA San Andreas. Let's go. Opposite the Jefferson Safe House, there's a house that was presumably designed by the same architect who designed CJ's family home. That building is practically a smaller copy of the Johnson house. The same fence, the same entrance, the same shape, the same roof. The only differences are the colors and the proportions. If we buy a plane ticket and destroy the plane during the flight, something weird happens. The easiest way to blow it up is by using the cheat code that blows up all vehicles. But I personally recommend the cheat code Time to Kick Ass, the one that spawns a Rhino tank. After all, you can never say no to watching some tanks bouncing off a plane high in the air, right? But it doesn't matter which method you go for. After CJ respawns at a hospital, we'll notice that there's something unusual about our screen. The cinematic mode will remain on, the one that's turned on by the game during cutscenes. So we have smaller FOV.
Big and Bob.
Yeah, it's about compensating for other shit.
The HUD is disabled. We can't see our health bar or the radar. And also, depending on your version and your mod configuration, you'll sometimes also get those black bars at the top and bottom of the screen. You won't be able to pause the game either. I mean, you can pause, but only by switching windows in your system. It's just that the escape key does nothing. In order to restore the normal interface, you simply need to trigger an activity that turns the cinematic mode on. Cause if it turns it on, it will always turn it off again once the cinematic sequence is over, which is kind of what we want. For example, starting a date with a girlfriend or triggering a mission will do just fine.
Hey, sweetheart.
Let's get something to eat.
Baby, let's do this.
In the car showroom, where we steal a Sultan and an Elegy with Caesar, there are windows. Yeah, I know, not exactly a banger of a fact, but there's more to it. At first glance, everything looks innocent. You could smash them with grenades, bullets, or a melee weapon. Nothing out of the ordinary. When it gets weird is when we start shooting at them with a tank's cannon. Or maybe I should say, shoot through them. As you can see, for some reason, tank projectiles phase through those panes. That's especially odd because in Wang Cars, another showroom in San Fierro, this glitch doesn't occur. During the mission, the Da Nang Thang, if we want, instead of climbing the ladder onto the ship, we can swim back to shore. And if we do, we'll experience something quite incredible. The entire city will fall silent. No pedestrian will say a thing. Not even a grunt. We can attack them, push them, nothing. Total silence. Even the Ballas, Vagos, and Aztecas fully switch to sign language. Even the pizzeria guy went quiet. Even quieter than Niko Bellic after GTA 4. Seriously, try playing around with it yourself. It gives a very creepy vibe, especially during a thunderstorm. By the way, imagine something like that in real life. You wake up one day to total silence. In theory, everyone's acting normally, but no one says a word to anyone. You'd go crazy for sure. Have you ever played baseball in GTA San Andreas? Well, I did. And no, without mods. Let me explain what I mean. See, some of the thrown weapons in the game are physical objects. For example, with a grenade or a tear gas can, you can kill a ped just from the impact alone. But the most important thing is that the forces caused by the player can also affect those objects. We can knock a grenade away by shooting it or by hitting it with a melee weapon. Using that mechanic, I managed to write a custom script where CJ's task is to hit the ball so it goes through a loop. A homie throws a tear gas can at us, and the player's task is to aim it through the loop. I had a hell of a lot of fun with it, and one time I even got very close to scoring. Trust me, it ain't that simple. I'm wondering what other ways you'll come up with to use that mechanic. I'm waiting for your suggestions in the comments. You wouldn't find many people that like the Faggio scooter. No wonder, it's criminally slow and doesn't even look nice. But there is one thing that makes Faggio very unique. Did you know that Faggio is impact proof? Just as the tank is. We can smash it into walls all we like and we won't see so much as a puff of steam. Of course, the classic methods like guns and explosions will be just as efficient on the Faggio as on other vehicles. Another vehicle that's got some weird properties is the Combine Harvester. For some reason, you can't stick a C4 to it. Usually, you can stick C4 to NPCs, vehicles, or objects, but they phase through the Combine Harvester. I'm also pretty sure that this beast is the only vehicle in the game that can do a burnout with all four wheels, which looks absurd. You can't pull it off even with an Infernus, which, in theory, has a four-wheel drive. Despite that, we can only do a burnout with either the front or the rear wheels. I thought that maybe you could trick the game by driving up against a wall, but if we do that, Infernus suddenly forgets it has a four-wheel drive and does a burnout with the front wheels only. As we know, vehicles get dirty in GTA SA, especially while driving off-road. But it seems that if we apply a custom paint job, our vehicle becomes completely dirt-proof. I even drove for 15 minutes in the forest, and my car still looked like it had just come out of a car wash. In the San Fierro Naval Base, we can find an interesting object. I'm talking about those boxes that have rockets in them. At first, it looks like a simple decoration, but that's not quite the full story. After shooting at a box like that, it explodes. Though that's the normal bit actually. Physics also applies to those boxes, so we can move them around. But I bet Newton would argue if that's how it's supposed to look. The funny thing is that the lids of these boxes aren't movable. If we move the box away, the lid ends up resting on thin air. If we topple the box over, we'll see that it has no texture from below. You can pick the box up with a forklift and then throw it off the ship. From there, you can freely drive it around the map. It's another prop you can wreak havoc with without attracting the cops. You can also make it into a proximity mine. The bomb explodes upon even the slightest direct contact with another vehicle. The Andromeda plane is unavailable to the player under normal circumstances. It appears only in 2 missions, but we can get into it. Despite that, the developers implemented an interesting feature for it. Using the numpad keys or the right analog stick on the gamepad, we can open its rear ramp. Shame we can't drive anything inside the plane, cause it would have been a fantastic way to transport vehicles. We would also be able to see what the inside of the plane looks like. Technically, we see it in the mission Stowaway, but that's more of a trick. We can see that by looking outside with the free cam. To add to that, using the step counting method, I verified the lengths of the exterior of the Andromeda and the interior used in the mission Stowaway, and it turned out that the interior is 40 steps longer than the in-game plane. In the Ranger car, the right headlight has a much smaller light corona. Despite that, both reflectors emit equally strong light. I definitely don't recommend visiting the Welcome Pump Bar. Why? Well, because they serve you food without a plate. No wonder Helena was so pissed at CJ after that date. Top tires leave no marks on surfaces. Gotta admit, that's an impressive detail. But something else about the tire marks is that if we take a closer look, we'll see they often levitate, as in, they're rendered a bit higher than the surface we're driving on.
Hey, give me a hit of that shit.
Police officers in GTA SA have no problem with you hooking them up to the tow truck. You can drive them around town, perform stunts, drive off hills, and they won't be bothered at all. And the best thing about it is that you can smash their car against an NPC's car and the police will start chasing after that poor guy. On the subject of police, it's worth adding that the cops don't react when they see us beating a dead body. If we hit a living NPC, they react instantly. But the sight of some psycho mutilating the corpse of some poor fellow doesn't faze them at all. The Chiliad challenge can really get on your nerves, especially since every time you fail, you need to drive up that stupid mountain yet again, only to realize that you're late to the race. Fortunately, there's a way to trick this mission. If you find it irritating and you'd like to skip it, no problem. Grab yourself a sniper rifle and wait until all your opponents complete the track. Don't enter the final checkpoint. First, kill all your opponents with a sniper rifle. In the bottom right corner, you'll see that the game no longer counts them. Then, you'll always be first. But the important thing is that you have to kill him with the sniper rifle. Using any other weapon causes the mission to fail. The sniper rifle is quite unique from a technical standpoint. That's also why you can kill the colonel in the mission Home Invasion only with the sniper rifle, while most weapons fail. The only other exception is tear gas. At the driving school, they give away free shotgun ammo. In GTA SA, every time you enter a police car for the first time, you get 5 shotgun shells. And it hasn't been turned off in the driving school. Whenever you trigger the course with the police car, the game gives you 5 shotgun rounds. That means you can essentially farm shotgun ammo here indefinitely at no cost. The interesting bit is that a similar trick doesn't work with the taxi course. Normally, whenever we jack a cab, we get $12. But that's not the case in the driving school. In the safe house in Red Sands West, there's an interesting photograph. In it, we can see none other than Kate, one of CJ's girlfriends, with another man. At first glance, it suggests that Kate wasn't completely honest with CJ. You know, that she had someone on the side. But the location the photo was taken at suggests a different explanation. The building in the background is the Green Glass College in Las Venturas. So the most likely scenario is that Kate was studying medicine there. She's a nurse after all, and the man in the picture could simply be her ex. And another conclusion we can draw from this is that since that photo is in that Red Sands West safe house, it's very much possible that Kate's ex had once lived there. At least I don't see any other explanation as to why that photo would be there. Cause Katie isn't a character CJ has to meet canonically, so CJ couldn't have put it there. Besides, it's another man in the photo, not CJ. It gets even weirder when it turns out that Katie knows CJ's name before he even meets her for the first time. If we fly over to her at the beginning of the game and start trying to run her over with a car, she will shout at us. And sometimes she'll refer to CJ by his name.
Look out, CJ!
That's of course an oversight. The developers should have turned off certain lines until CJ meets her in the game. In the game, there are 2 planes with a functioning passenger seat. Those are the Dodo and the Beagle. We can use that to turn a drive-by into a flyby. Our homies can shoot from those planes. It often looks absurd. The gang member often phases through the plane's ceiling, rather than shooting through one of the windows. And sometimes it looks like he wants to pop CJ and not the Ballas. There's something strange about the reverse gear in GTA SA. First, it turned out that the Nitro reloads faster while reversing. But here, you actually came to rescue the situation and explained everything in the comments. We had one expert in the comments who was so kind as to enlighten us all. Highly recommend the video if you want to find out more. I'll leave it for you in the outro. But other than that, the handbrake stops working when we reverse. I mean, it works visually, but in practice, it doesn't reduce speed at all. Well, almost. It actually does reduce it, but extremely slightly. The difference is only visible while driving uphill. But on the straight asphalt, having the handbrake on while reversing doesn't really make any difference. This weird anomaly only applies to vehicles with front-wheel drive. Taking into account that most cars' handbrakes work on the rear wheels, then I guess that there is some logic behind this design. Do you remember the fun fact from the last video where the drowning photographer tried to attack us by taking photos of us? There's another situation where the game treats a camera as a firearm. If we get into a fight with the Ballas, and importantly, they have to be unarmed, just take out your camera. The Ballas will leave you alone or run away.
Hey lady, what's up, girl?
Seriously, unarmed Ballas fear the camera. Unless they're scared you'll record them beating you up and report it to the cops. In that case, I guess it makes some sense after all. In the LV police station, sometimes there are fights between cellmates. The whole thing is weird as hell. The person being beaten up never defends themselves, and the perpetrator, after they're done with their victim, starts walking around the cell with no clear purpose. And yeah, those beds lack collision detection. When we press F while wearing a jetpack, CJ takes it off and a pickup appears. We can walk into it to equip the jetpack again. However, never get close to a fire truck while wearing a jetpack. If you get hit with water from a fire truck, CJ's jetpack falls off, but it won't appear on the ground. It'll simply disappear for good. To get a new one, you'd have to go back to the airstrip. The higher the wanted level, the more serious law authorities pursue us. Regular police, then SWAT, later FBI, and if we're big enough maniacs, eventually we'll piss off the military. Each of them has a different weapon. But did you notice that there's something else that sets them apart? The higher the officer's rank, the more health they have. A regular cop goes down after 4 shots from a 9mm. A SWAT officer after 6. While you need as much as 8 shots to bring down an FBI agent or a soldier.
Yeah, really?
If you have fun discoveries of your own that would be cool to show in a video, let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, that's it for today. Take care and see you soon.